So when it comes to graphing these patterns, there are really two main approaches, and I'm going to try and explain both of them pretty quickly here. The first one is the one you'd be very familiar with all along, which is to come up with a table of values. So you can see here we have our first term, our second term, our third term, and our fourth term, and you might call those position numbers: first position, second, third, and fourth. And the number that's in each of those positions is 4 is in the first position, 11 is in the second, 18 is in the third, and 25 is in the fourth. Now if you want to do that, all you'd have to do is make a graph the way you normally would. You'd have your y-axis, you'd have your x-axis. Make sure everything is evenly spaced. On this line, every one is 2 squares because I want it spread out so you could see easily. On this axis, on the y-axis, every one is 1 square. But it's the same the whole way. If I had my 1 here and then I had my 2 over here, I would have changed how wide each gap of 1 unit is. I don't want you doing that. It's important for these lines that you don't. Now, if you're going to use the table of values, in the first position, you're going to put it at 4. So in my first position, I'm going to go up 4 and I'm going to put it there. In your second position, you're going to use 11. So my second position, I'm going to go up to 11. Now, because this is linear, because it grows by the same amount each time, you really only need 2 points. You draw a straight line to connect and you're done. That's method 1. You could put every point. You could put 18, you could put 25, you could go up to 4, you could put it up here. That would work. The second method is to come up with a rule and then use the rule. And when we did our exploration as a class, we found that this one here goes up by 7 each time, so it's going to be 7n. And then if I go back a term, it's going to be -3. Or if I take away a whole group of 7 from 4, it would bring me -3. Either way, I know my rule is 7n minus 3. Now, just having this, I could graph a line. Because there's 2 pieces of information here, and they're the only 2 pieces of information I need. The first piece of information I would use is actually the back half. It's the constant. You guys realized when you drew a bunch of lines and you found their rules and you wrote the line next to the rule, then the 2 things happened. This -3. This -3 here is actually right here where it crosses. This constant is where it crosses the y-axis. It's going to cross at -3, so that's effectively where I'm going to start. 7n is how much it goes up each time. If you notice, it goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right there. And then from here, it's going to go, as I move over 1 more, it's going to go up 7 more. If I move over 1 more, it's going to go up 7 more. This is the amount it goes up. So if I know where I start, and I know how much to go up to put a dot, then I can easily draw a line. So you can use this to draw a line. And that's pretty easy. Where it crosses the y, and how much it goes up. Or you can use this to make a table of values. 7 times 1 is 7, minus 3 is 4. So my first point is going to be at 4. 7 times 2 is 14, minus 3 is going to be 11. So my second point is at 11. And whatever number I put for n, that's what position I'm at. So if I did 7 times 3, it'd be right here. 7 times 3 is 21, minus 3 is 18. I'd go up to 18, and there I am. So the 2 primary methods are make a table of values, or use this and understand that this is the amount it goes up each time, and this is where it's going to cross. So let's make one more little pattern right on here so you guys can kind of see. And I'm going to use one that's a little bit more straightforward, like the one in question 4. In question 4, our pattern is 9, 14, 19, and 24. Now, there are 2 ways we can go about it. The first is to just turn this into a table of values. 1, 2, 3, 4. And on my number 1, I would draw a dot at 9. 9. Right there. I'm going to use a different color, actually. At 2, I would go to 14. Right there. And at 3, I would go to 19. Right there. And then I would draw a line all the way down. And it would need to be straight. I don't know if I have a straight line tool on here. I hope I do. This is going to be huge, I think. Oh, sorry. That's not what I wanted. get rid of that. I don't have a straight line rule, which I did. Or I wish I did, sorry. I would go like this, in a straight line, just like that. Now, you would use a ruler, and if I had a ruler that worked on an iPad, I would use that too. But you can see that line right there. Now, that's one way. The other way would be to find the rule, and then just plug the rule in. Changes by 5. I know that's my multiplier. 5 times. Then, I know there's one group of 5 in this first number. So what's left over would be 4, plus 4. This tells me everything I need to know. I start at plus 4, boom, and I go up 5 each time. So as I move over, go up 5 to 9. As I move over 1, I go up 5 to 14. So I move over 1, I go up 5 to 19. So I could use that as well. Either method will work. Now, there's one more thing I kind of want you to understand, and that's if I have two rules, one like 7n minus 3, and another like 5x plus 4, that whichever has the bigger number here, the bigger multiplier, is going to be a steeper line. If it has a smaller multiplier, it's going to start to be less steep. So we talked about that in our exploration. It's just something I want you to remember. Hopefully this helps you guys with your graphing.